What were you initially told about the backstory for Dane?
The backstory, not much actually. I just made that up myself. I gave him a military background. I gave him a sense of when there's a feeling in him that when there is injustice, you don't just simply stand outside and
Mhm.
shout about it. You get involved, and not get involved in terms of making your feelings known, but you get into the system
Mhm.
and start to work things from inside. It's the reason why a lot of people become police officers or become, start working. And I wanted him to have that kind of background and have a military training before it. So that was it. And the rest of it, because it's an ongoing series and we only got the first two episodes,
Mhm.
I wanted to leave myself open to just see what would come.
Oh, yeah. So what about this story or this specific role drew you in to want to be a part of this project from like the little that you were told in the beginning?
Yeah, there was little on the page, but I spoke to David and Susanna, and they told me that they wanted to introduce the idea that Dane sees a psychiatrist, that he's struggling with guilt, um, and that's underneath things, and they don't know where they want to go with it, but that's part of it. They were interested in the fact that I have a martial arts background and I teach, and so they were kind of like, "That's interesting." And I thought, "That's great." And Vic Michaels actually has a black belt
Oh,
in
wow.
Taekwondo. I didn't know. So we both have black belts in Taekwondo. So that'll be a future episode, I think. Um, but so that was interesting for them, and then he's written like an onion. There are so
Mhm.
many layers to him, and you think you know him, and then you get another little
Mhm.
peel. And there is humor for him, although he is the straight man. He's completely straight-faced.
Mhm. Oh, yeah. It's
Yeah,
kind of
all of
going.
that put
Oh,
together made me think
yeah.
like,
I think like the onion's the perfect description for him because you think you know him and then there's just like this another side to him. Kind
yeah.
of on that early on, we see the shift from him from being the stoic agent to someone willing to help the women kind of uncover the truth. What makes
Mhm.
him trust them?
They're honest.
Mhm.
He knows they're coming from a place of honesty. They're not lying about what they think, what they feel. There's no ulterior motive. They're they wear their heart on their sleeve. Um, and also the kind of people who would march into an office and say, "I want to be sent back to the country that where my husband died,"
Mhm.
and work for the agency that, in a way, killed him. That's a special kind of person that does that, and I think he sees that straight away and realizes that they'll be quite good at what they do.
Mhm. So Ray, of course, is someone Dane seems to trust a lot in this world of not knowing who to trust. With
Mhm.
Cheryl, of course, being revealed to be one of the moles, how do you think that will change the dynamic between them once that's eventually revealed?
I, I I don't think Dane would blame
Mhm.
Ray for making that mistake. I mean, she's his wife.
Yeah.
You wonder, was she a Russian agent and then
Mhm.
uh, told to make
Mhm.
Ray for, was it that deep an undercover operation? Or did she happen to be his wife and then suddenly get pulled into a world where she falls in love with someone else and then starts to work for them? Is she being manipulated? But that doesn't stand because she speaks perfect Russian.
Mhm.
So you've got to sort of that little twist there makes you think, oh my God, you can't trust anyone.
Mhm.
Which is exactly what Dane says. He says, we test everyone all the time. You can't trust anyone and you shouldn't. You can't trust me and I shouldn't trust you. It's
No,
true.
yeah, I love that first kind of like example you gave because that would actually be fun to delve into to a possible season two, kind of just seeing
Hmm.
there's just so many layers to every single character.
Yeah, yeah.
What were some of your favorite scenes to shoot or ones you feel most proud of the work you put into it?
It's interesting playing a character like this, and then you have a scene where Dane sits down and bursts into tears. And I forgot that the crew and the ADs and everybody, they get to know you based on what you do on screen. They don't know the real you. They just see what you do on screen. So
Mhm.
when it happened, it was nice that people sort of thought, "Oh yeah, we forgot you have a whole track record of
Mhm.
theatre and Shakespeare and training and all that behind you," and it sort of reminded them that, and it was nice to test myself and just suddenly out of the blue go now delve into this emotion and play it properly and then suddenly come out of it.
Yeah.
Um, I enjoyed that scene. I also enjoyed being on the bonnet of a car.
Oh yeah.
That
So
was fun.
and kind of you mentioned earlier, for he is this very straight-faced person, but there is some comedy. Do you have a specific line you remember that was like hard to get through from laughing too much in between
It's not
takes?
on screen. It's not on
Oh
screen.
no.
Um, I give B a camera, and I think it's a packet of cigarettes and it's a camera, and I give her this thing. I say it's a camera, and you press this button, and the shutter is this, and so on and so on. And she goes, okay, okay, and then I slide a little Kit Kat across to Twyla, and she's just thinking, okay, what's this? And I said, it's a Kit Kat, and she said, no, but really, what is it? And we improvised that.
Oh
We
wow.
improvised that. The answer to that.
Mhm.
And one of my improvised answers was, she said, no, but yeah, but really, what is it? And I said, it's four fingers of chocolate that people enjoy. And she burst out laughing, and we all, and there was so much. But I said, it's a wafer thin piece of sugar covered in chocolate. And we did all these little takes of that scene. It was very, very silly. But on the day, the one they put on screen is only the one that's in the script.
Oh yeah.
But we did all of these silly takes of it. That was a great scene to film. We were all together when we were all together in the bubble trying to keep a straight face. That was fun to do. Um, and yeah, as I said, being on the bonnet of a car and being strapped onto that as it was driving along a Hungarian high street.
Mhm.
It's fun.
Yeah, there almost needs to be like a blooper reel because you don't realize how much comedy goes on behind the
There
show because
there needs
yeah,
there needs to be a blooper reel for
there
this
have been
show.
so
There
many
needs to be a
hilarious,
blooper
like,
reel.
yeah, so many photos and videos I've seen of you guys kind of behind the scenes. It seems like
Yeah,
everyone just had a great time on set. Do
we did.
you
We did. It was
have
great.
a favorite memory with the cast, kind of in between takes?
I remember we wanted to do fights with laser swords, and so I ordered some lightsabers, and they came to set. And Trent, who played no, the young actor who played Trent, uh, he got given a laser sword and told that he had to go and sort something out. There was a problem outside, and we needed his help. And he got this laser sword and he ran out. And there was Ray, who plays his dad, going, "Ha ha! I've got you!" And they had this laser sword fight. It was the funniest thing. Nick Podani plays Ray. He ended up on his back in the dirt, being beaten
Oh my
by his
goodness.
son. It was very, very silly. And yeah, there's outtakes of not outtakes, but there's footage of us just mucking around behind the scenes all over the place. They're a great, great bunch of people to work with and work for, and I'd yeah love to do it again. Yeah,
Well, hoping for a season two, because like I said, this is just a show where you love every single character. You're tuned in for it, so we need
yeah,
to see more of it. Oh
yeah
yeah.
they're lovely. They're lovely, and I hope we get to do it again. Yeah.